Okay, we're back to gaming, and we're gonna remember to turn the BGM off this time. Unfortunately, the wench counter is gonna have to go away. And then, gamer time. Fucking gamer time. Alright. I am gonna try to be not normal. Or wait, no. I'm gonna try to be a bit more normal today than maybe I normally would. Just because I did kind of go a little ham during the karaoke. Let me move my camera. It's like being a little funky. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. So I'm gonna try to be. Every time I say this is a chill EB stream, that never happens. But I'll be damned if I don't at least try. So we did that whole thing with getting Johnny's lore. We learned that Johnny Silverhand is, objectively speaking, not a good person. So we learned that. That was cool. I don't know where Panam is. I'm gonna be real with you, but we did do some learning. We fought a big lady, and now we have a big hammer. And I'm not allowed to show you the hammer right now, apparently, which is what it is. Oh, she calls me? Okay, cool. All right, where's the? There we go. Hey. Hi, how are ya? I'm about to enter the DLC. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey. You're a dick.
Gotta be pretty disappointed.
With what?
That you can't zero me after all.
Haha.
It is out of my hands.
Did you hear about Brigitte's ask from Alt? Or was that memo way above your pay grade? Like the biochip was?
You try
I
to
love
provoke
bullying.
me. Is this wise, you think?
Bingo. How am I doing so far?
I guess I can leave. Can I leave? I guess I can't. Oh wait, no. Can I not go that way? Do I still need to talk to you?
Gotta be pretty disappointed.
Did I see that already?
With what? It is.
Why does it say I still have to talk to him? Let me go. Oh, I missed the open button. Okay, cool. Oh, not again. No. What? Johnny! 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 Oh shit. Johnny! 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 Johnny, I'm scared! Johnny! Hi. Huh? Third trimester cramping.
Trimester cramp.
Ha ha ha. Joke away. But you look pretty spent.
Fuck.
That was your ticker. Sit and rest. Don't need you flatlining while we got a job to do.
Blah blah blah. Fuck Arasaka. Blah blah. Smash Makoshi.
Oh damn.
You really are turning into me.
Fuck it. Have a ciggy.
Might be right.
We're bickering like a shriveled old married couple. It's time we let up. Let a little trust take hold.
I don't even like you.
Every cell of my being dislikes.
You're kind of the worst,
How
bro.
can I trust you? Do I gotta remind you how this came about?
Let's not get wound up. You're not yourself.
What? I'm not gonna read the dialogue just so I can recover my voice. Like she says it anyway, but I'm gonna try to be normal. I'm gonna try really hard to be normal.
Let's move. Get back to work.
Let's do.
Okay, so
Hey,
we're waiting.
look.
What? He said, "Hey, look." Guess we don't have anything to look at. Okay. Well, it says pursue other leads. Can I pursue Panam? Here, has everyone was blowing up my inbox earlier, so like, no, I don't care about Delamine. Rare cyber site, no. Okay, there's a mural by you. This one? That's not really illegal. Okay.
V, can you hear me?
Who are you?
Loud and clear. Whoever you
Oh,
are.
it's all glitchy.
Good. It worked. My name is Somi. Just call me Songbird, though.
Okay.
I know who you are. Know your situation, your problem. And I can save your life.
Why can't I talk about the graffiti? This is a prank.
Oh, very
Are you
funny.
pranking me?
Is this a prank? Not in the mood, if so.
Pranking me?
It's anything but.
I don't want to be
You
pranked.
must have questions, and I'll answer them in due course, shortly. But first,
Whoa.
I need you to get to that swollen appendix of Night City called Dogtown.
No man's zone where you shoot first, ask questions later. That Dogtown?
Got
What?
that dog
The
in
chance
me.
to live to a ripe old age, not reason enough to go?
Okay.
Fine. No clue what I'm stepping into, but no risk, no reward.
Thank you. I appreciate this, truly.
Okay.
Dogtown's main gate. Be there as soon as you can. I'll make contact again then.
Okay. Well, I guess I got that
This
dog
is
in
one
me.
elaborate haze. Or a fucking lifeline.
Okay. I was kind of nervous that the DLC wasn't gonna start. I don't know why, but I was a little afraid. So just to clarify to everyone who knows things, that's the start of the DLC, right? Come here. Come here. Got that dog in me. Okay, let's go. Oh, wait, wrong way. Hold on. Okay, good. We did. Oh, whoopsie. Okay, we got to do the DLC. We have to get to the DLC first. To do the DLC, we have to get to the DLC. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, wait, was that my turn? Oh, fuck. Wait, whoa. Where's my turn? Is it here? No. Okay, that's not my turn. That's a wall. Okay. Is it my turn? Oh, wait, that's my turn. Turn. I'll turn the... Oh, whoopsie. I'll change the volumes in a second. I had them at my mic adjusted. Hold on. Whoopsie. I was looking at my audio. Oh, no. Oh, now I'm squished. Hold on. I think I fucked up. Can I get off? Just drive in third person? Fine. Can I get... Nope. It's still over there? Can I have it back? Just let me get back up there. Put me in. 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 The driving's the same. Yeah. I keep forgetting how to switch camera. What if I just summon the bike again? That's not what I want to do. Here.
The parade will
What?
soon start.
My bike is stuck.
I will wait where we met before.
By
Give
the
me back
stalls.
my bike. Shut up. Fuck
Stay
you.
out of trouble,
Get
okay?
out of there. Hold on, let me fix my audio real quick because that was a little noisy. Let me put my mic back to normal. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's try getting a car again. That's my gun. Hold on. Let's do the different motorcycle. Give me the other motorcycle. There he is! Hi, cutie. Fuck out of here. Okay. What? I said... Have some manners. Bro, I'm just trying to get on my bike. God damn. Wait your fucking turn. What happened to it? What? Let me get on. Let me get on. Here, get on. Get on. Get. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Hi, gamers. If you're just coming in. Oh, it's freezing. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Third person. Okay, there we go. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Welcome in, gamers. If you just come in. We just switched from... Oh my god, why is the bike so fucking loud? Holy shit. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, it's loading. Let me change... Can I change, like, specifically... SFX volume? There we go. The graphics are good, but I was, like, lagging for a second. But, we just finished karaoke, and we literally just started Phantom Liberty. So we have to go to Dogtown. Why is it puffing like that? We have to prove we got that dog in me. And then well, I don't know what'll happen. It's all that smoke simulation. Oh, shit. Alright, let me see. Ooh, excuse me. Is that my turn? That's my turn. Okay. Meow. Wait, is that my turn? Close enough. Okay, there we go. Why is it puffing at me? stop. Know what makes me sad? Global warming. At least for me, personally. Maybe this way? There we go. There won't be another DLC? Wait, why? Why aren't they doing... Wasn't Phantom Liberty, like, super successful? Why wouldn't they do another DLC? Because I've only heard, like, really good things about this one. It seems kind of silly to not make another one. Alright, there we go. Turn this way. I've gotten in significantly less car crashes since I got to third-person camera, but I don't feel as immersed as I was before, so there is that downside. I like being immersed. If I'm gonna get hit by a car, I want to experience it, you know? Excuse me. Alright, there we go. Okay, they said they would never lay hands on the red engine again. So like you're gonna peel was gonna be their last touch. Oh, okay. They're going Unreal 5. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it sucks, but like I get it, you know? Alright, here we go. I think it stopped puffing finally. It's like my fucking motorcycle was a chain smoker. That's what I'm looking for. Wait, what's that? What's going on? What? Hello? Hello? Oh, my PC is warm. Oh, my PC is... Oh, I missed my turn. I don't know where my turn is. I don't know where the road is. No. No. Okay, where's the road? Where's the road? Okay, okay, roundabout. Lower my graphics, probably a good idea. Okay, mouse, come back. That's not cyber. I do need to upgrade my PC eventually. I do need to turn my settings down. I think I got this computer in 2020 or 2021. So it's not that old, but it's... Yeah. Okay, graphics. Let's go to... let's... performance? Crowd density? Turn that to... low. I do want some people. What GPU? I'm gonna be so real with you. I have no fucking idea. My parents had extra money left over in my college fund, and they're like, we'll buy you a pre-built. And I was like, can we build it? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. Because, like, when I offered a free PC, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna take the PC, you know? I'm just gonna be like, okay. Alright. That Alienware is not holding full power second. No. But yes, it is an Alienware pre-built. And eventually I want to build... I used to have a computer that me and David built together. But I haven't built a PC since 2016. Yeah. So that was it. I had extra money in my college fund and my parents were like, we'll buy you a PC. And I was like, okay. And I got that one. So I was like, okay. So, like, I'm not gonna turn down what's wrong with Alienware? Is Alienware bad? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what... No, that's what I'm saying. I got a pre-built. I said we built it together. We did. I was there. You pay like 70% for hardware and 30% for plastic crap. Well, I didn't pay 70% for hard. My parents did. But yeah, I don't know. It was one of those ones where I didn't have a lot of time to like look into it, and I don't really know a lot about computers. And David was like, I think David had mono at the time, so like, my parents were like, yeah, you need to decide now because we need to get it before the end of the year. And David knows about computers, but David had mono, so I didn't want to bother him when he was like dying. Like, Mans was literally dying of fucking mono, and I don't want to like roll up and be like, hey, what computer do I get? So I was just like, okay. So I'll upgrade eventually. Can't believe Padre Evie didn't look into computers properly. Honestly, yeah, you're right. The motherboard and PC is some whack stuff they made in-house so you can't upgrade. Yeah, I've accepted that I'm gonna need to like get a whole new PC, you know, and that's fine. Hi, Dagamura. This isn't Dogtown, but I wanted to come talk to you. Hi.
V, just in time.
That does look
You look great.
Hey, Goro. Wow. You look like a million Eddies.
Is that so? That is not how I feel. I ate what you call a scat burger.
Aha. Wow, what'd you think?
Yummy.
Tasty?
Ask the people below. The parade will soon
For a guy
begin.
who so whacked out by
I
last stuff, you
adjusted
think you
the
care more
data
about
from Okada-san.
cybersecurity and thus
I
computers in
advise
general.
you to examine
Yeah,
it
I
yourself.
don't really remember how that happened. It says you're still playing oh, motherfucker. God damn it. Wait, what? Oh, did not. Oh, I thought you meant my BGM was still going. Oh, okay. It didn't change the category. That's weird. Let me change the category. There we go. Thank you, Lag Wolf. But yeah, I'm gonna eventually get my own, like, I'm gonna upgrade eventually. I just haven't really had the need to, you know, because like, Cyberpunk big. I don't mind lowering the settings on that. If it runs Skyrim with all my mods, I say it's okay, you know. But yeah, I don't know shit about computers. And David had mono, so
and I know where the
you get what you get and you
sniper
don't
positions
get upset, you know.
are.
At the
There are
time,
trio.
I just
You
wanted to
must
play
make
Overwatch
each
and
harmless
League, and I
before
took
they
that.
do the same
Is
to
David
me.
in chat?
There
No,
are
David's
many ways
busy.
to reach them.
David's city
The first is
planning.
nearby.
We're not like literal city
He should
planning.
not
He's
be a problem.
GM planning.
The second is worse.
Skyrim is more
You
CPU than
will have to
graphics.
climb.
Yeah.
As for the third, he hides on the footbridge over the street. We are here. Hanako-sama's platform will stop here.
But yeah, don't give
Close to
David
the
shit. David had
emergency
mono.
exit we will use when all is done.
David was in the
From
hospital.
this point, you will have a clear view of the parade.
You don't know at least.
But the
I don't know
snipers
shit.
will
Like I'm gonna
see
be so real with you.
things
I don't know
even better.
fuck shit.
If they notice you, bang, no more.
My name has been invoked. Hi,
If
David.
this sounds dangerous,
Everyone's giving you shit because
consider
you
that I
didn't
must
let
leap
me.
to the
You didn't
floor,
stop me from buying a
enter
shit
through
computer.
window and meet Hanako-sama face to face. The
I mean,
last
you were
is what
also
I
like,
fear the
you had
most.
mono. That's my main
Is all
defense
this
for you. You
clear?
had
Are you
fucking
ready?
mono. You had mono. No, he had mono right when COVID started. He had mono right when COVID started. He was dying, bro. Any backup plan?
Wait, if things go to shit.
This is what, like
we got a
5-6
backup
years
plan?
ago? No, this was like
What do you think?
2020, I think.
I am accused of betraying Arasaka. Soon I will try to confront the sister of the CEO in person.
Okay.
There are no backup plans. This one must work.
For jobs like this,
Plan's fucked beyond all recognition. Yet here I am.
I know.
was it
and I
1500,
thank you
2000
for
range?
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
David,
thank
could
you
you have had
once
mono at a
Now
convenient
get in
time? Yeah,
position.
come on, David.
Very well. Wait for my signal.
Yeah.
Stay safe, Coral.
Yeah, there was a pandemic, his hedgehog died, and then he got mono. Yeah, my PC was the least of David's concerns. But yeah, was it 1500 or 2000 range? I don't remember. I dead ass don't. I think I do have it listed on Amazon. I think. It's somewhere on my Amazon storefront. I don't fucking remember. Yeah. Ooh, pretty.
I am in position.
I think I accidentally went to a different quest, but we'll get that dog in me later.
Careful what you will face
Oh,
Arasaka
fuck.
drones. I also spotted the netrunner in Arasaka.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
She is somewhere hidden.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
good to go.
Then let us begin. You must reach all snipers before Hanako-sama's float appears.
Oh, God. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Go right at the entrance of the DLC and then turn around. Well, in my defense, there was no road. I didn't know where to go. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, neutralize the snipers. Where are the snipers? Snipers? I'm looking for the snipers. Oh, this is stressful. Okay. Let's see. Alright, upsies. Oh, I see where we're going. Okay. Yeah, I got the Songbird call. I was about to start Phantom Liberty, and then the road went away, and I accidentally ended up here. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not going anywhere. It's fine. We'll get there.
He's almost in front of you. He's watching the crowd, not his back.
Okay.
Won't know what hit him.
Alright. Can I have my weapon? Oh, I should probably be sneaky, shouldn't I? Okay, sneaky beaky. Sneaky beaky. Listen, I like hot old men. I got distracted, okay? If he tells me to do something, I'm gonna do it. Let me see. Oh, okay. Messages? My inheritance. Oh, that's a scam. Oh, I don't want to. No, whoopsie. All right. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Oh, I can't jack in. Oh, okay, whoopsie. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Can I pull my gun out? Oh, I've got my hammer! Can I take the snipers out with my hammer, or do I have to be ranged? I don't want to be ranged. I want to hit people. Do I have to... Oh, I guess I have to go up here and climb up? Yeah, okay, here we go. Hostile area. Okay, sneaky. Oh, Can I like make that? No, I cannot. Oh boy. Hop. God. God damn it. Let's see. Press tab and look at it and select turn off. Oh, okay. I forgot that was a choice. Whoopsies. Oopsie. Oopsie. Oopsies. We're just gonna let it load again. We're not gonna talk about how I forgot that tab was a thing you can do. I thought I could just do a little hop, skip, jump, and it would be okay. Whoopsie. Okay. All right. Let's well, hey, the more you know. Now we know. Oh god damn it! We have to do all this again. Can I skip it? Skip. 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 No. No, this way. Wait, no. This way. I was wrong. Or no, I was right before. Okay, here we go. This way. Hopscotch is always the answer, but I guess not always, because then you might get blown up by a landmine. Can I not go there? Okay, here we go. This way. Hi, I like your guys' arm thingies. They're really cool. I like, they're cute. Yeah, where do you get those? I like them. I wanted to hear the hot gossip, but I have to neutralize snipers instead. This is so fucked up. I just want the gossip. Okay, here we go. Let's see. It does look really pretty though. Like, this is very visually pleasing. Alright, come here. Burrito! Oh, okay. Hi. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. Okay.
Won't know what hit him.
Won't know what hit him. My hammer. Okay. Bonkity bonk. Okay. Oh, right. Hop. Okay, there we can hop. But disarm. Huh? Okay, it worked. Okay. Let's quick save after that. Okay. Ammo? Ammo? Can I take this gun? Okay. Where are the snipers? Hello, snipers? Oh wait, is there more goodies over here? Oh, that was this thing. Okay, I should probably look, can I, oh. Can I hop? Can I he really doesn't see me, huh? Can I shoot him in the butthole? Set him. No, that's traceable. What's a good... No, I need a better gun to blast his butthole with. What guns do I fucking have equipped right now? Give me your ass. I need it. Shotgun. No, I need like... What's the gun they just gave me? Where was that? I didn't see what it was called. Where did it go? Sniper rifle? Here we go. Hi. Anus acquired. Oh no, I'm reloading, no!
Goro, pick out the one closer.
Now you must leap to the balcony by the green arrow and take the elevator. Take the footbridge at the top to cross the street.
Okay, okay. I'm so sneaky. You didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. Excuse me. I got places to be.
Oda is speaking to someone. I am linking you in. We both
Must have been the wind. I would never question Yorinobu's orders. That'd be crazy.
It is just as we expected. Oda is here. I will contact you with any news.
Okay, I just
know
want to
that
keep shooting
bored-out
people in the
ogre.
butthole. What?
Adam fucking Smasher.
Huh? Guy who killed you?
Guy who killed you, right?
Guy, motherfucker's barely human. But hey, know what? I'm glad he's here.
You're glad.
Why?
Seeing as I woke up in a world without any Sabura, I'll have to be satisfied with Smasher.
You gotta be satisfied. You got fuck all to lose.
All right, fine, we. Your finger on the fucking trigger, I guess.
Okay. Alright, I go shoot more
Try to
buttholes.
reach
Have
the
fun, Johnny.
maintenance area. You can climb up from there.
I hate stealth missions. Excuse me. Okay, this is fine. Alright.
Catwalk don't look too stable.
Shut up, Johnny.
Sure, Takamura didn't plan a little whoopsie-daisy
Shut
for
up,
you?
Johnny.
Carefully. You must not draw attention.
Told you so.
I just... Is it like a tightrope thing where I go on this and just... Whew. Okay. Don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that one bit.
Silence is not.
Okay, I think we're safe. We're safe.
It is the sound of a flame extinguished.
Where is he? Oh god, it's all
You will have to
windy.
get down somehow. Just be careful. Yes, just so.
What's that?
Don't rush.
Don't
I
rush.
need you alive, not the corpse below.
I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. I think someone sees me. Okay, no, we're good. You don't see me. You can't see me, John Cena. You can't see me. Okay. Alright, whew. Okay. Is that a door? No, okay. Ooh, okay. You can't see me. You don't see me. Ooh, okay. Okay. You don't see me. You don't see me. You don't see me. No, see. No, no, no. Oh, lovely, lovely view over here. Ooh. Okay. I can't. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, I don't like these videos. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. It's freaking me out. I'm gonna be honest. I'm clenching right now. My butthole has never been tighter. Okay. Come on. Hey, buddy. Is that him? Oh no, he's in there. Well, you can go too. Oh, shit. Wrong option. Wrong option. Okay. Come on out. Okay, one more. Come on. Where'd he go? Oh shit. Is someone else shooting me?
I'm good!
Ah!
Just a
I missed. Oh fuck.
and it is
There we
yours.
go. Okay. Must have been the wind. Must have been the wind. So that was not the sniper. Oh shit. Gonna save again because I'm afraid.
Hey, soldiers say, target down.
Got him.
Good
Okay.
words to hear.
Nekomata.
You will find up the wall to a staircase at the end of
Like the
the
VTuber?
It's the
Nekomata?
shortest route to the
Okayu?
nearest sniper. He
I like
will shoot
her.
himself high.
Keep you posted.
I don't need that. Alright, just
Hey,
one
It is Orage.
left.
Listen.
We have to announce that public safety has been compromised. She must be extracted at once. Arasaka is fully capable of protecting secret laws she values more. The Arasaka image or his sister's life. The situation is in hand. Over and out.
Did you hear? They know something. Perhaps much. We must hurry.
Perhaps much. No. I was like, how do I get in there? Oh, stairs. Good job, Eve. Fuck. Okay, we're just going in. Alright. Hammer time! I fucked up. I fucked up. It's hammer time. It's hammer time. Come here. What? Another one! Excuse me. Excuse me. What? Oh, whoopsie. Okay. What? What? Okay. I fucked up. Fine. Good. Okay. Alright, I'm ready. Oh, fuck. That's not how that works. I thought it was like a charge. Okay, there we go. Dodge that. Left control. I'm trying to get... Come here.
Try to reach the maintenance area. You can climb up from there.
Oh, one of them's still alive.
If
Hold on.
that doesn't work, you can use the footbridge
No, you're
to the
not.
right.
No, you're not. You are not good. You are dead. Okay, thank you.
Tend to get cooked. I would keep my head low.
Oh, shit. Frag out. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nuh-uh. 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 Tag you're in. Fuck. Right in the butthole. Oh, what? Oh, fuck. Okay. Here. I'm a sniper. Oh, fuck. It's not loaded. Shit. Here, that's probably a better. Let me I'm healing. I'm healing. This is a safe zone. You can't tag me here. You can't tag me in the safe zone. Haha. You can't tag me in the safe zone. Haha. Can't tag me. Can't tag me. Can't tag me. Haha. Ha. There we go. Okay. Can't tag me in the safe zone. You fucking idiot. Okay. Okay. One more sniper. Where? Oh, was I on fire? Oh, whoopsie. Okay. Maybe I should put a little more pep in my step. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. He's close, so he's probably not alone. So I'm ready to change weapons if I gotta. Can I get up here? Then, up here! No. Okay, this one? This one? Don't let me up! I need uppies! I need uppies! I need milkies! I need mommy! Give me uppies! Or give me death! Aha! Okay, there we go. Uppies? Okay. Hi! Come out! Come here! I missed! I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at gun. Oh, dude, wait, did you see that? He had a little combat roll. Someone hit me up there? That's fine. Come here. Okay, you know what? Fine, fine. We'll do this the hard way. Right, give me up there. Give me up there. Come on. Come on. You wanna do this? Is this how you want it? Huh? Is this how you want it? Is this how you want it? Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought. Okay? Oh wait, what's a smart weapon neural link? I got the bonk though, so like, hey, I'll take that. I don't know what that means. Alright, let's go. Construction, I guess? Yeah, okay. I'm ready though. Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh. No, I don't want to. You can't make me. Bam, 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 bam. And then this one. Bam. No, the switching is. Oh no, not switching to your hammer. Hey, where the fuck did you come from? Go away. I don't like you. Cringe. Okay, and then you. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you. Get that out of here. Give me your burger. You don't deserve that burger. Okay. Here we go. Snipey time. Yippee! Okay. Who's looking at me? Stop looking at me. You're making me feel insecure. I don't see you. Alright, I can't get a clear shot at it. Probably just right here. Hey. I don't like you. Alright. You can't see me. Fuck! What the hell? How'd that miss? How'd that miss? How did that miss? What? 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 Is that? Wait. Oh! Is the koi like? How am I missing? The hell? Oh shit. Fuck. Okay, hold on. I need that. What's the button for my? No, wrong button. I need my inhaler. No, that's not my inhaler. Oh fuck, I forgot the button to heal. No, not that one. Okay, X, that's right, X. Okay, inhaler. Okay, where is he? Hi. Whoopsie. Okay. Okay. Alright. He's too fast. I can't get him with my hammer. He's too good for hammer time. Hi, Beast! I'm somewhat of a gamer. Okay.
And that is...
I got all the snipers. I just want the burger. Oh, well, good for her. What a girl boss.
We'll not be able to hijack the float otherwise.
Let me reload that real quick.
Unfinished apartment building near to the second sniper's nest.
Okay, on my way.
Alright. We got this. We got this. Okay. Maybe I should change my guns. Maybe we should reassess our weaponry. Okay. So we don't have the neural link for the hammer, and as much as I love hammer time, maybe we'll do not hammer for a little bit. What does that mean? Neural? Yeah, where does it say neural? What is that? All right, we'll go back to using the katana. No, the katana's not good. Oh, I mean, all these are pretty bad, but that's okay. The hammer works. Oh, okay. It's my gun that's neural linked. Oh, okay. Well, let me go back to my guns, and then let's fix. Okay, you know, I love NC. Oh, I thought it meant North Carolina for a second. Night City. That makes more sense. Night City is not North Carolina. Ah, I see. Okay. Let's do this one. This is a little basic, but that's okay. Smart submachine gun. What's so smart about it? Oh wait, this one's better. No, give me the light one. Okay, there we go. And then I like my pistol. I'm gonna be honest, I like my pistol. Hi, Grammy. Welcome to the hydrate and the posture check. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I don't know. I feel like... Oh, this one is good. Yeah, let's do this one. Wait, no. Back. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm ready to kill. In Minecraft, not in real life. That would be bad. I do not kill people. I do not kill people. I don't kill people. Please tell me someone fixed. We did fix the build. We did fix the build, if I recall correctly. So that should be not as bad now. And I'm good for bonking. I love bonking. Wakako gives you the smart weapon thing for free. Oh yeah, I need to go visit her. That's right. I think I still have a thing where I need to go like meet up with her or something. Ooh. Bad time, bad time.
Oh, shit, not good.
Now, B, I have attention. Pull out her link.
Huh? How do I pull out her link? I could kill her. Hi.
Been on a while. Time for a break.
Whoa! Fucking Darth Maul, the fuck?
Of course you're
Who the? Woo! Okay, that's how we're gonna play. That's how we're gonna play. Okay, fucking Darth Maul looking ass. Get out of here! Out of my dick! Out of my pee-pee hole! Fuck! Fuck! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! There we go. Fuck! Fuck! Woo! Okay, get up! V, get up! Alright.
She will activate camouflage. The group breaks in the light.
Breaks in light. I don't have my glasses on. I want arm blades. Huh? Can I go uppies? Uppies! Save me, uppies! I have the high ground, Anakin! Hello? No, he's rejetting. God damn it. Shine means die in Japanese. Or I think it says Shiru. I couldn't tell, it translated too fast. Where is he? Oh, it says we're back. Oh, there he is. I see him. Where'd he go? I see him. I saw him for a split second. Come out. No. Is that him? He did say Shine. Okay. Reloading. Give me the hammer. Oh, that works too. No, it doesn't. Okay. No! Get back here, you little rapscallion! No, stop regenning. It's cheating. You can't do that. That's not fair. Is he back in his little hidey hole? Where are you? Oh. There he is. If he came out right on the base drop, that would have gone so hard. I'm gonna be so real. Is there a way to get his camo to go off? No. God, he's back to full again. Stop. Hide. There he is. What the fuck was that? Oh, wait, that was kind of cool. Okay. Oh, he's so hard to see. Okay, there we go. Got him. Okay, wrong weapon. This is not a good weapon. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Shit. Okay. No, stop that. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. No. I see you. 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 You can't. No, go away. No. No. Bang. I'm trying to bonk you. Bonk. Why is it so slow? Come on. Okay, fine. We'll go to gun. Give me No! No, I lost him. Where does he go? Oh, no, 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 no! Hello? There you are, you sly motherfucker. Come on. Stop being plastic. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I'm fantastic. Wait, no. Life in plastic is fantastic. It must be come out. Hey. Get out of the plastic. You don't go there. That's not, no. Come back. That's not where you go. That's not where you belong. Get out of there. That's not where you go. Okay, come on. Here. Reloading. Oh, get up. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's Darth Maulin again. Fuck. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No. Ooh, shotgun. Yeah. Okay, we have shotgun. And we have, do I have that? Pistol? Yeah, sure. That should work. Okay. Oh, no! Pistol! Wrong button. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm a dumbass. I'm telling you, he looks like Darth Maul. Doesn't he look like Darth Maul, bro? Okay. Shit. I have no ammo. No. Okay. Just 2 shotguns. Fuck it. New meta. Where are you? You slippery fuck. I mean, I know he has the staff, but the double red blades does remind me of Darth Maul. Get out of your plastic paradise. I hear him. Where is he? There he is. Oh, reload to the other shotgun. Multiple shotguns. 2 shotguns. New meta. Oh, you've heard of 1 shotgun and a hammer. Fuck you. No. Okay. Back to shotguns. It's over there. I lost him. Get out. Oh, he's so close. No. Don't go away. I have abandonment issues. Don't go away. Oda. I will cry, and this will be disgusting, baby. Come on. Reload faster, V. 1 more. Just go on. 2 more. No. I do fight for what is right. No. No, come back. No. Ah!
What is your status?
Oh, we did it!
I managed to.
We did it!
Oda, is he dead?
Oh, he's dead!
He's breathing.
And I'm carrying too much junk in my trunk. Can I have a burger? Can I have a cheeseburger after all that? Cheeseburgers are not a crafting item. Okay, whoopsie. Cheeseburger. I'm hungry. I want a snack. Oh, Marcy, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome in. Can I just yeah, give me, yeah, just 5%. I want a burger. Where's all the burgers? I picked up so many Berber. Berber? This is all, yeah, sure. Give me that. Give me this. Give me, fuck, I'm carrying too much shit. How much junk is in my trunk? 252. Okay, here. Welcome and thank you so much for the 21 PlayStation's boss today. I appreciate you. Character, no, inventory. I probably have too many guns. I can probably get rid. Why do I have 3 pistols? Okay, that can, here, disassemble this one. Disassemble this one. I don't need 2 sniper rifles. I don't need, yeah, no, we can get rid of some of these. I don't need that pistol. Okay. Don't need that one. Okay. That's good for now. Okay.
Then, for now.
Please, V. Show him mercy. There should be nothing standing in your way now. We press forward.
You and your fucking sick sense of honor.
Can I kill him?
Today's your lucky day, though. Can thank your old friend Goro.
Yes, I can't.
It is
You haven't been
I
buying
who
cyberware?
protects
Oh, fuck. I don't even know how. Okay. Well, now we know what to do once we're done this quest before we get that dog in me. Okay. Now we know what we need to do. We need to go buy some cyberware.
Okay, Preem. Online and in the system.
I'm jacked in. I'm jacked off. Whew. Okay.
Hanako's inside.
What
Oh,
is
shit.
she doing?
Trying to call someone, I think.
Try to listen. Do not forget to disarm the alarm. I must be able to enter. なぜ止まったんだ?
危険だと警告されたの。小田とも連絡が取れないし、何か変だわ。
パレードを中止すれば弱さを露呈したと思われる。
弱さ？誰の？あなたの。
俺たちだ。
私が参加したのはあくまでもお父様を追悼するため。操り人形になるためじゃ
Have a
ないわ。
special can kill you easier than Rebecca. I think a lot of people can kill me with not much ease.
だが、
With
お
not
前
much
が言うなら
ease.
中止してもいい。
Oh, that's a spoiler? Oh, okay. Yeah, spoilers.
お前の安全が第一だからな。
I saw Boston delete it and I was like, what did I miss? Whoa, huh?
やり終えましょう。
That makes sense though.
ありがとう。
No, that's okay. I just thought for a split second, I'm like, did you like sneak a slur in there or something? God damn, he was fast. He was on that. Dementia. I don't
Girl.
remember. I already
All systems
forgot, so
jammed.
it's okay.
It's now or never.
お父様。
Oto-sama.
花子様、
あなたは
お許しを。どうか話だけでもお聞きください。三郎様は
父のことを口にしないで。
これが俺にできる最後のご奉仕なのです。三郎様の死について真実を明かすことが。花子様、無礼を働きたくありません。しかし。V、Ram!
Oh, shit.
Shit!
He shot her.
Oh, no. Run,
What
Reggie.
happened to keeping him on his leash?
Oh, no.
We're still to the
Okay, maybe we switch. Okay, maybe we don't need. Okay, maybe the new shotgun's not working. Come here, face me like a man, you stupid fucking robot. Fuck. Okay, that doesn't work. Fuck. Oh fuck. Oh god. Okay, it's Jover. It's so Jover. Okay, let me reload. Okay. And another one. What? I actually fucking fell to my death! God damn it! Okay, I was not emotionally ready for that. You can ignore them? Oh. I don't want to talk about that. Stop. Dogtown ass death. I do not got that dog in me. Fuck. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Put me back in the game. Okay, thank you.
V, what is
Okay,
your
if it loaded
Hey,
before I was gonna be so mad. I accidentally walked off a fucking cliff. Okay, we know what's happening now. I need assault rifle. I need assault rifle. I need assault rifle real bad. Okay, we don't need 2 of these. What's the button? No, wrong button. Fuck, did I drop that? No, I wanted to disassemble it.
He's breathing.
Okay, it's fine. Hold on. Inventory. It loaded before, so it's over. No, it's not. It didn't. It didn't. It loaded after I killed him. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. God, I have no ammo. Well, no, I have assault rifle ammo. Okay. I don't need all these pistols. Okay, sniper rifle. I don't need 3 sniper rifles. And I don't need 2 double barrel shotguns. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. You're level 20 and you don't have any cyberware. I don't know how I made it this far. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
There should be nothing
I'm
standing in your
trying.
way.
Oh,
We press forward.
I like the story, okay? I'm really involved in the story. It's a good story. So I want to know what happens, okay?
Okay, Preem. Online and in the system.
If it isn't clear, Evie's probably weak. I'm 2 years old. Okay.
Hanako's
We'll
inside.
skip ahead.
Trying to call some.
危険だと警告されたの。小田とも連絡が取れないし、何か変だわ。
She's really pretty, by the way. Like, unrelated. She's very pretty. Oh, I do need to get better drip. Okay, are we doing shopping after we do another terrorist attack?
私が参加したのはあくまでもお父さんを
First,
追悼するため。
terrorism. Then,
操り
shopping!
人形になるためじゃないわ。
この見せ物では
Yeah, honestly,
役割
smash.
がある。
Smash.
美
Smash.
智子は文句を言ってないぞ。だがお前が言うなら中止して
Bless you, David.
全部やめだ。
You can find stronger men. Everyone is so mean to me. Can I skip ahead?
兄さん、
Lisa.
やり終えましょう。
ありがとう花子。せっかくの式典だ。
She does look really good for being 78 years old. A gilf? Sign me the fuck up.
Goro. All systems jammed. It's now or never.
Can I skip ahead? No. Okay. Come on.
花子様。
あなたは。
お許し。
Bing bang bang bing bang.
He shot her.
Whatever he did, now we're really fucked.
Knew we couldn't trust him. What happened to keep
Okay,
him on
so I
his
guess
leash?
the move is just ignore everything and run. Ah! Ignore me, ignore me. Whee! Okay, minor fall damage as opposed to major fall damage. Okay. Elevator, 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 elevator. Let me get. Okay, okay, I'm not. Okay. Whew. Okay. We are skedaddling. Free reward from Kaz's Rider's Ripper Dog shop. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
Lost your fucking mind?
There's no time to explain. We must meet.
Yes, Daddy.
Where are you?
An abandoned apartment block on Pine Street. Second floor. Number 303.
We're about to go live.
Knock 4 times. Hurry.
Okay. Alright, how far is it? 900 meters? Well, there's no time. We gotta blast. We gotta blast. Come on, Jackie. We just did another terrorism. Come on, Jackie. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Alright. Oh, fuck. I have to. There we go. Alright. We're going. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. I'm sorry. I'm still mentally unwell from the shit I've said. You're so real. You're so real for that. Oh my god. Listen. What I say. Do you guys know why I stream Skyrim so much? I've been playing, like, you've seen me play Skyrim, okay? I played Skyrim for over 10 years and I still fuck shit up, right? This is why I don't stream games I've never played before. Like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, please get, oh, it's not time sensitive? Oh, okay. How much money do you have? I don't know. That many money. Okay, I do really have to pee and I need a snack real quick. Can we? I think I forgot to take a break at 2 hours. Can we take a break real quick so I can piss and get a little treat? Although some may argue I don't deserve a little treat after that piss poor performance. You started the song and I had to finish. We're gonna take a break real quick. This is gonna be a longer one just so I can pee and get a treat, but we'll be back in like 3 minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. I promise I'm gonna get kitted out. I promise. Okay. But you gotta hold my hand. You gotta walk me through. I'm gonna be vaguely parasocial. Please hold my hand. Please hold my hand. Okay, we'll be right back. Oh, wrong button. That one? Yeah! Okay, there we go. Okay, I need you guys to know, as soon as my BRB screen went on, David like stopped what he was doing. He looked at me and he went, "You really need to get to a Ripper doc." And my response was, so, what are we doing, gamers? Oh, blink. Okay, where is the nearest Ripper doc? Here we go. Let's do that and see about getting me some upgrades. Okay, I don't know what we're supposed to get, but we'll find some. Ripper, I hardly know her. That's what I've been saying, man. This Ripper doc sounds very intimate. Okay, I don't want to do that to a woman. I'm not a misogynist. Whoopsie. Okay. All I can hope for is she can upgrade her armor. We'll see. We'll see. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Is that my turn? I think it is. Okay. Excuse me. I'm watching the map and the road. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. Whoopsie. Whoop. Close call. Ooh, okay, maybe a little bit closer, but that's okay. Okay, all right. Hi. Hello? Are you accepting new clients? Are you accepting new patients? Hi.
I'm thinking about getting some new chrome.
Then I think you'll come to the right place.
Oh, do you want a kiss on the mouth? Holy shit. Okay. David, can you come here? I don't know what any of these words mean.
What do you mean?
What's a frontal cortex? That's like part of my brain, right?
So how about I just beat you with the Cyberpunk read the book until I figure it out?
No, that's not what I want.
Okay, sure. Okay. So let's start. I'm gonna guide
Because
you
the chat says armor, but is armor my skeleton or the front? Is the armor in me? Is it on my insides or my outsides?
Okay, let's start with a couple of things. Start with skeleton.
The bite of 87? Oh.
Okay, so you.
Please let David do this. Okay, David, what are we doing?
Okay, so let's
Oh,
see.
pretty colors.
I need to read things.
Oh, sorry. Okay, do you want to just take the mouse?
Yeah.
David's here now. Everyone say hi, David! Hi, David.
And I'm gonna make fun of you briefly. I hate your mouse sensitivity.
I was doing arranging work, and that is hard. Do you know how hard it is to have fast mouse in Finale? I gotta get all the notes in.
Okay, so I actually like it lower. Is the funny thing.
Oh, really? Well, I'm just a gamer. I play AD carry League of Legends.
Okay,
So.
you've mostly just been running at things and hitting them, right?
Yeah, and I like shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you a Scar Coalescer.
I'll worship the Savior, David.
We're gonna get you some. You don't need the titanium.
What are speed legs?
It's fine. We're gonna get you a Scarabs. There's some armor for you. Why is your cyberware rank or capacity so fucking low?
I don't know.
Okay. Interaugmentary systems. We're gonna replace your. Oh my god, you have no money.
I don't have any
Okay,
money,
we're
and
upgrading
I don't know how to do anything.
All right, you're out of money already.
They want you to look at my perk points. I tried to fix it on my own. Can you check to see if it's good?
It's probably pretty bad.
What? Can you check?
Why are you carrying apparently 50 sniper rifles? Hold on. Open the menu.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna start with the inventory. What are you doing with all these guns?
I'm saving them for later.
Okay, anything with this yellowy background,
Yeah, what does that mean?
store it, because it means it's iconic.
Oh, me
Okay.
too.
Yes, you are.
Yay!
So, like, store it, because it means it's iconic. If you want to collect it, that's fine. Otherwise,
What's that?
sell this shit.
How do I sell things? Do I go somewhere? Like, I go to a shop, right? Do I have to go to, like, a specific shop? Is it like Skyrim?
I don't know why, but I thought you were going to be carrying, like, 40 hats, by the way. Like, I really thought that's what we were into.
This is Marie Kondo for gamers. Stop.
Okay, this isn't... Honestly, I expected expected worse.
Yay! Oh, the BRB music. Wait, David, I broke it.
Why do you have an iguana egg?
Why don't you mind your fucking business, David? I forgot to turn that up. Okay.
Did I miss you robbing a pet store at some point?
I don't know where I got that, actually.
Okay. Anyway, let's see. What's the... What the... Why is it all in cool? And yet, you have no perks.
When I started the game, I didn't know. I think I just turned my webcam off. Oh, wait, no, we're good. When I started the game, I didn't know what cool meant. So I was like, hell yeah, I want to be cool. I think I'm great.
You also have 7 unspent attribute points and 8 perk points.
So, no, I thought I fixed the build, but I guess I didn't.
Have you used your 1 respec?
Oh.
Get out of the chair.
Okay.
I'm fixing this. Get out of the chair. What kind of build?
David is once again assuming my form.
What's up, motherfuckers?
God damn it.
Okay. What have you been using? Shotguns and
Shotgun and a hammer.
Okay. Hey, who the fuck did that?
You can see it's in the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not super familiar with 2.0, but I'm pretty sure I can do better than that. So we're gonna start by pumping body. There we go.
Kitty. I have a cat now. Don't stop me now, cause I'm having such a good time.
Okay, let's see. We'll get you this.
Stop me now. Wrecking ball.
Wrecking ball. Reduce armor after hitting a strong attack. Knockdown chance. Are you going... If I get you the perk to block bullets with a hammer, are you going to use it or forget you have it?
How do I block?
Hold right click.
Maybe.
Okay.
I have the points for attempt to pester Dave, and Evie seems to be doing it fine on her own. I'm not trying!
She does it passively.
Oh, Jeffrey's on my foot. Hey, baby.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I need my phone. I should take a picture of him.
Health regen.
Sub perks for EB games. You get pictures of my cat, and you get to hear me yell about the teachers' union. Because that's what we did today. Hey, look. Oh, he's sitting on my amp. He's amped up. Jemir, look at the camera. Please. There we go. I'll put that in the sub chat.
Okay.
There you go. Live and late breaking. Or now breaking. I'm not late. I'm actually right on time.
Okay, let's see. Other things you're probably going to want. Reflex is going to get you some of the melee perks. We'll pump that to 9. It's, someone remind me. Technical ability, tech middle column for cyberware slots. Okay, cool. Then, yeah, we're definitely going to pump that some as well.
He's amped up. Get it? He's sitting on the amp.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do.
Are you single?
I'm going to let chat figure that out with context clues. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually. So here's what here's what you're going to do. Is you're going to take the defensive abilities from this tree. You're going to take those from Reflex. Okay. You're going to get the shotgun and melee stuff from here. You're up to the capstones. I didn't get them for you. I want you to figure out which one you want first. And then you're going to go in here, and anything that lets you have more cyberware, you're going to take it. Because if your primary goal is to hit things real hard and run at them like an idiot...
Why'd you have to say it like that?
Well, it's what you've been doing.
Well, that's not very nice.
I'm not very nice. Anyway, you're gonna want more cyberware. Also, for the love of God, this is a very expansive game. Do some side quests.
But I like the main story.
Do some side quests.
Well, yeah, I was gonna get to it later.
Also, I'm going to show you a fun little secret. That's not a secret.
It's nighttime.
Open the menu.
It was nighttime just now. I did a terrorism earlier.
There are these little boxes.
What are the boxes?
All over the city. Those are stores.
They were white, so I didn't think they were important. Because all the other important stuff is in color.
And also, I know it is. We're gonna go to this because they couldn't have made this any easier. Also, no one make fun of me for the driving because I do not like the way this is set up. So
I don't think it can get any worse.
I didn't hit anything. Oh, wait, hold on. I only hit one thing. That's a person. He's fine. I just clipped through him. He's fine.
What's going on over there? What's that?
Tuesdays.
Oh.
Anyway. R.
Is that what we're doing on Tuesday?
Maybe. G to sell junk.
Why isn't it J? Because junk and jewelry, that's the letter J.
Okay. And then am I cool to sell every common random piece of bullshit you're carrying?
What if I need it for later?
You won't.
Okay. This is so
wait,
much
no.
fun for this game. Everyone is so... What happened to holding my hand, chat? My boyfriend's single. What about me?
Whoops.
I'm gonna start doing girlfriend experience because you're so mean to me.
Okay.
What? You're okay with that?
Are you wearing cowboy boots?
Yeah. Yeah, what about it?
Oh my
Wait,
god.
can I keep my cowboy boots?
Yes, you're still wearing them. I didn't
Yay.
sell your cowboy boots.
I can't type that. That's the problem, Cola. Through type, it just doesn't work. The chat delays too much.
Okay,
Jamir,
so here's what you're gonna do.
Jamir's sassing me.
Here's what you now have $26,000 more dollars.
Oh, that's
Okay, you're gonna go do some side quests.
But I
And-
want to meet with Takamura.
No, Takamura can wait.
But I just did all that terrorism.
Yeah, I know, and he's gonna. You need to let you need to let it cool off. It'll be fine. What you're gonna do is you're gonna upgrade.
Jamir's screaming in the background.
Well, yeah, you can probably do it with Takamura.
Yay!
Do you use quick hacks at all
I don't know what that is. Is that when I press tab?
when you do this stuff?
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
Okay, then.
I like setting people on fire.
Whoops, I activated the camera.
Ooh.
My hot take: not every game needs a camera mode. Just by the way.
Can I go see Panam?
No.
She's my girlfriend, but she doesn't know she's my girlfriend yet.
Okay. You're gonna need to upgrade your operating system.
How do I do that?
Upgrading this part at a Ripper dock.
Wait, but we just went to a Ripper dock.
Yeah, and you ran out of money after I bought 2 augments.
Oh. EEBEE, you're still number one. Thank
You're
you.
probably gonna
Someone's
want
on my side.
You're probably gonna want a berserk. It's gonna take a while. Also, buy an arm upgrade. Get gorilla arms or mantis plate. Well, probably gorilla arms.
Gorilla.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you're on your own. Chat. Good luck helping her figure this out. I'm going back to what I was doing before.
Thank you, Dave.
No more Dave.
I reassume my form. Boop, boop, boop. You can tell it's me again because I'm smiling, and David doesn't do that.
I would never.
So I need to go back to the Ripper dock. Oh, I need to put my headphones back on. Hold on. Davida Kondo. Listen, I would absolutely watch a Marie Kondo show, but instead of like it's still the same concept, but it's David just bullying you for your shitty like organization systems.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. The main quest don't give that much money. Oh, wait, how much money do I have? I forgot. $26,000 is a good amount of money.
I burned through 40,000 of your dollars in 3 seconds. Keep that in mind.
Oh, so okay.
Inflation's a bitch.
I guess we have to pick a side quest. So, oh, there's an assault in progress. That's cool. Side job. Oh, okay. Let's do, I guess, side job? We'll do side job. That's what it said, side quest, side job. So that works. Who knows what you might find? I don't know. That's why we're going that way. If you see crimes, the police... Oh, wait, the police will... Oh, well, let me go stop some crimes. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm here to stop crime. Where's the crime happening? I heard that there was crime. It said on the map there was crime. Where's the crime? Where's the crime? Oh,
Before you stop the crime, I'm begging you, please quick save.
Oh, yeah. That would be bad. Okay. Crime. Hey, who are we shooting? Where's the crime? Where's the crime? Is it over here? Or maybe the crime's over here. Crime? Crime! Okay, I'm ready. Wait, did you guys stop all the crime?
This is gonna end badly for you. Now get out of my sight.
Oh, you guys are the bad guys. Okay. Yeah. Whoopsie. No crime. No crime. Crime is bad. You can't do that. You can't do crime. That's illegal. You can't do that. That's illegal. You can't do that. That's illegal. Crime is bad. No crime. Obliterated. Ha. What? There's still some crime over there. Stop doing crime. It's not nice. Did I stop all the crime?
Appreciate it, sister.
Huh? Hi. I stopped all the crime. I did it. Have my money.
Huh?
I stopped all the crime.
Remember to take only certified neuroenhancing supplements.
I stopped the crime. Like, no, what did I do? But I stopped the crime. I stopped the crime. What happened? I didn't do anything.
You threatened a police officer.
No, I didn't. I just stared at him.
Yeah.
What?
Also, you didn't get the money for completing the crime.
Well, then why did I do that for?
You need to find a marked container.
What?
That's how you get the money.
Oh, this is stupid. I don't want to solve crime anymore. I want to do the crime instead.
Stand
Shut up! Well, I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Stop trying to arrest me. I didn't do. Oh, whoopsie. I thought I could get a jump there, like a cool jump, but I guess it didn't work. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, no more. Whoopsie. I didn't do anything. Maybe it's because I'm a vigilante. Oh. No! Stop trying to shoot me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
Still at large in the area.
Stop. Okay. Oh wait, I missed my turn. Oh shit. It's fine. Okay. Stop. Stop killing police. No! They were mean to me. Stop! Fuck your car! Fuck your car! I want it to explode!
All nearby
Fuck
units,
you!
we have a code 3. Civilian is unstable.
Yeah, I
Proceed
am.
with caution.
I'm very unstable. Go fuck yourself. Okay. No more. Okay. I'm trying to do a side quest. This is why you don't do good deeds ever. Okay? 3 stars. Woo, I'm winning. Over here. Oh wait, don't hit that. Okay. Alright, let's see. Hey! Watch where you're going! How do I get off? I forgot. Oh, this button. This button. Okay, fine. Oh, can I get off? Thank you. Okay. Go away! Oh, I like this gun. This is a fun gun. I'm shooting so fast, it doesn't even make sound. That's crazy, actually. Okay, thanks, time. Don't mind that. I should probably run. Okay, there we go. What? Hi. Okay, fine. Oh, the game froze. Okay, we're good. Okay, fine. No crime, I guess. Okay. Wake the corpo. Hey!
Rise and shine, Corpo Swine.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Well, if it wasn't for you, I'd be... Well, thank you. Were you sent by the company?
No, I just don't like cops.
Wrong
I have beef
answer.
with them.
Then, hold on. What do you want from me?
Money! Oh, I can't ask for money.
The truth.
God damn it.
What did they want from you?
I have no idea. They said something about some slut and a virtue.
Huh?
But when I asked what I had to do with it, they started beating on me so hard,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
fucked
I'd
up.
die. This city's really going down the drain.
That's what
For
I'm
the police
saying.
to do
That's what I'm
this
saying. I
in
just
plain
stared
sight
at them.
for
Am I
no
not allowed to
reason.
stare at... Well, actually, no, I'm not allowed to stare at people. My mom said staring's bad.
Go on. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
But I don't understand. Just like that. For nothing in return.
$500.
I don't believe you. You saved me just like that because you felt like it?
No, because I hate
Don't
cops. I
measure
told
others
you.
by your own yardstick, prick.
I didn't get any money. That was a waste of time. Okay, what was the perk David wanted me to do? Body? Yeah, okay. And then I get to pick, right? Unlocks a blunt weapon finisher. Ooh, I like that. Okay, we'll do that one. I like that. Okay. What was that? His prick is a yardstick? Yeah, me too. Just like me, for real, for real. Was it tech? Yeah, tech. Upgrade your tech attribute. Okay, this one? Oh, this one. Oh, okay, there we go. I like throwing people. That sounds fun. Okay, there we go. Okay, well. Where'd the music come from? Hello? Can I take this car? Oh, no, I can't. That's ugly. Okay, well, should I do another side quest? Because the first one... Hi. The first one didn't... I don't think the first one ended very well. Should we do another one, or should we just go see Takamura? Neutralize the threat. Corpo Plaza apartment. Ooh. Side job. I guess we could do another side job. That one was probably the worst side quest, actually. Okay, do a gig? Oh, okay. Which one's the gigs? Gigs. Okay, there's one right here. Okay. Let's do that. Who knows what I might find. Okay. Where is my bike? I really want to steal a police car. They were mean to me, so I'm not gonna Guys, it's not that serious. Hello? Can I get a Red Bull? Hello? I want a Red Bull. Let me in. Okay. Alright. There we go. Am I still wanted? No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Whoops, excuse me. We'll just go the long way. Oh, sorry. Whoopsies. Okay. This music does kind of go hard. Alright, let's try a gig. Oh, whoopsie. Missed my turn. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Come on. Wait, what? What the fuck? Oh, it's right over there. Let me back up real quick. Yeah, this goes hard. The fuck? Alright. We're going. Alright, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna find, but hopefully it'll get me. Ah! I just looked at OBS for a second because I thought the music maybe was too loud. Oh. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, don't text and drive. Texting and driving is bad.
Dark side of radio.
Oh, is that the radio? Am I supposed to let that play as a streamer? I thought I had streamer mode. I never got radio before. Go to the Coyote Bar? Ooh. Hey. Okay. I think that's a cop, so I'm just gonna ignore him because I don't want to do any more crime. Eyes on the road. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please learn how to handbrake turn. I don't know what that means. Genuinely. Okay, come on. Excuse me. Whee! Okay. Alright. Hello, I'm here to do a gig. Whee! Whoops. Oh, whoopsie. Sorry. Hi. What? Y'all good? Okay. Okay. Thank you, graphics. Yeah, because you guys look fine. Just what's going on over there? Oh, funeral home. That's cool.
Yes? Can I help you?
I don't know, actually. Can I help you?
I'm a member of the Greyer family. I'd like to see the body.
Who?
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Access to the morgue is employee restricted.
Can I start crying?
How's it going? Hey, you got any special offers?
Can I get a sale?
Depends. You want to cremate somebody? Or make a purchase for yourself?
Don't you think it's a little too soon for me?
Always better to be insured. If you pay now, you can get a 50% discount with our latest cremation salvation package.
Oh.
Come on now. That's just too good to be true.
But it is true. The details are in our complimentary information booklet.
Can I have a booklet, please? Oh, okay. Hi.
Looks like someone wants trouble.
No, I don't. I just, no, I don't.
Alberto
You blind?
was an exceptional man.
I already do.
Just trying to enjoy a service.
In hard times, he was stoic and humble. And in good times, his smile lit up the world. Today, we say
Oh,
our
damn, that's
goodbyes.
crazy.
But we say them lightly.
Can you stop walking right after everyone? Oh.
Meet again.
Yeah, you're probably right. Me walking up to people with a gun probably isn't helping. I always forget how to put my weapon away. Are we done? I need to go in there. I need you guys to go away so I can go in there. Hey. How did I? Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up with these doors?
Nothing. Long as you're not fucking with them. No respect for the dead.
Can I go in? Probably not. Well, now everyone's staring at me. Now I feel awkward. Maybe I can cause a distraction? Oh, it's blocked. There we go.
Hey.
What in God's name?
Dad? Daddy?
Someone turn it off!
Wow, where do you shop?
Oh, hi. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Are they gonna fight me? They look like they're just doing their job. I don't want to fight them. Are you gonna shoot me? Oh, this is... Okay, fine. Fine. I just wanted to look at a dead body. Can't do anything in this fucking city. Okay. Who is that? Go away. Okay. Can't do shit. Anyway. Obliterated. I don't know what David did, but I like this gun. Anyway. Okay. Oh. Shit. I missed the morgue. Oh, hey. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the morgue. Oh, that's the morgue. Okay. Oh, whoopsie. Sorry. Ooh, baseball bat. Okay. This one. Here we go. Wait, what? Just get inside the morgue. I thought it was in the morgue. Morgue? Huh? Oh. Morgue. Excuse me. 21 Street. Woo! Okay, I'm just trying to... There we go. Oop. Okay. I don't know what's happening, but I ruined a funeral, so that's cool. Thank you for the clip tap. Whoopsie. Okay. Oh, dead bodies. What's going on over here? Find Jim Gray. Are you Jim? No. Are you Jim? No. Are you Jim? Jim! Hi, Jim. Demon infected shard. Ooh. Pulled a shard from his body. I guess I did that. Alright, well, I'm good to skedaddle. Alright. Bye! That was fun. I don't remember what the purpose of that was, but I ruined a funeral, so that was pretty cool. Okay. How much money do I get? Oh, wrong way. Do you have any money? No. Okay. This way. There we go. Deposit the shard in the drop point. What's the drop point? Over here? Hey. Oh, I should put this away. How do I put my gun away? I don't know how to do that. Because this is kind of intimidating. Like, I get it. How far is the drop point? I thought it was like close. Oh no, it's right there. Okay. Should be alt. Oh, okay. Well, that's... I guess not. Okay. Maybe if I hold it... Oh, there we go. Fist! I can put them away. Pick up everything and sell it in the drop box is the best way to earn money. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, well, let's go get our cash. And then we might sell some more stuff. Hi! On the wheel on the right side. Oh, okay. Hello. 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 Whee! Okay. Whee! Alright. Up here? Excuse me. Ooh, blocky. Okay. Oh, whoopsie. Can I? Okay, no uppies, I guess. Aha! And then I can sell. Okay, what do I want to sell? Do I have anything I can sell? I probably don't need all the... Well, no, these are iconic, so I don't want to sell those. I'll keep all my clothes. Do I need all these potions? Well, I don't know what else to call them. Because I have my inhaler. Do I need the potions? You can put the iconic weapons in your apartment to save carry capacity. How do I do that? Hi, Jester! Welcome in, gamer. Are you going to use them? No, I just think they're funny. I see burger and I want burger, you know? Go to your apartment first? Oh, fuck. I don't remember where that is. What's this? Attachments? Oh, I should probably attach stuff. Oh, that would probably be good. Well, I have, like, a bunch of the same thing. I guess I don't need... Okay, we'll use this one. Get rid of that. And then, panorama, only need one. Yeah, we don't need all of these. You can store it in the trunk of your car. Oh, okay. Yeah. Alright, and... Let's see. We have 2 of these. Yeah. Okay. And then... Did I get any money? Oh, I guess it already went. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we sell some things, and that's it. Should I go back to the Ripper Dock now, or should I really want... Oh, hello? Hi. No, fuck, wrong button! Ah! No, that doesn't make sense, but I think EEBEE should spec a little into intelligence. That way she can use smart weapons more effectively. That might work. Oh, I did get money! Yay! Okay. I don't know. I kind of want to just go to the hideout. We can go later, right? I saw Boston say in chat I can go, so we're gonna go later. What? I'm an angel son. Who are you? Like you to commit a minor Huh? Oh! That's what it was. Oh, Oh. So apparently I committed a minor transgression against God. Not on my to-do list, but okay. That works out, I guess. Wait, what? I rarely admit to mistakes, but this time I'm making an exception. I never say your determination. Yeah, I do need to, see what Kako. Capitalism is a fish best served cold. Oh, I like fish. Urgent. Okay, 4 times. Yeah, I get it. I'm coming. Timed out for 1 million. Okay, 4 times. 4 times. 4 times. Okay. I go to the hideout. 4 times. Oh, I can drive there. Hold on. Maybe it doesn't have to implement for it on students. Spreading your perks for multiple weapon types doesn't work. Wait, no! Woman!
It's a good thing you answered. I could probably use your help.
Yeah, anything. What's up?
Probably.
Fine.
I will literally drop everything. What do you want?
Can we meet?
Yes, absolutely. Tell me when and where.
Just tell me when and where.
You don't know how good it is to hear that. Swing by the Aldecaldos camp. I'll explain it all.
Okay.
The Aldecaldos? Thought you parted ways.
Look, it's a long story. Just hurry over. I'm here.
Okay. Talk about you can wait. You can wait. Let's see. I know the Avocados thing is kind of far, so hopefully we can find a fast travel thingy. Yeah, and then we'll go there. So let me see map. Where's the closest fast travel-y thing? Oh, it's right there. Oh, well, I guess I didn't really need my car. But I like my car or my bike. Hello. All right, come on. All right. Fast travel, fast travel, fast travel, fast travel. I love panini. Oh wait, is that the thing? Where is it? I want to make sure I don't miss it. I missed it. Okay. Here, it didn't load fast. Hold on. I would like to do a fast travel, please. I'm trying to do some fast travel. Okay. Okay, I really didn't need my bike in hindsight, but that's okay. Let me just get off real quick. Alright. I love Parmesan. She's my favorite character. Okay. This way? Oh, it's like a metro. That's cute. No, I don't like blue cheese. Blue cheese has mold in it. I don't like blue cheese. We've had this discussion. I don't want to talk about blue cheese. Oh, wait. No, I don't want to ride the metro. No. Fuck the metro. Actually, no. The metro's good. Having more alternatives to cars is very good. But fuck the metro. No, kidding. Where are you? Yeah, you're all the way over here. Boop. Let me go. Oh, I have to hold it. Okay. Girlfriends, 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 girlfriends. Yippee! This is a long loading screen. Okay. Let me take a sippy of water. This stream is all over the fucking place tonight. I'm gonna be so real with you. This stream's a fucking mess, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, hey! Well, that looks nice. Panam! Panam! Hi! Are you coming with your trauma? Ooh, what's up?
V, it's good you're here.
Hey! What's poppin'? What happened? Oh, are you guys cool?
Had no idea you and the Aldecaldos had made up.
They continue to grind my gears something terrible. But, you know.
They're family.
Exactly.
What happened?
What happened? Spit it out.
The Wraiths took Saul.
What?
The Brick Brain ventured out with a small patrol and never came back.
Sure, it was Wraiths.
We've been observing their camp. We know they're holding prisoners, including someone important.
You can't do that.
We need to free Saul. I don't know why, but I felt I could count on you.
Well, yeah, we're chooms.
Always, Panam.
So sad Panini is straight. No, we have the mod. We have the mod.
I'll start believing that. You won't be able to get rid of me.
Perfect.
I'll survive, I'm sure.
Whatever goodwill you might feel, I'm sure you won't turn down one of the best sniper rifles on the West Coast.
Ooh!
A Tektronica Grad. You saw it in action already. That and the gratitude of the Caldos.
Sounds fancy.
Once you have it in hand, fancy all of a sudden becomes kick-ass. Let's go. Mitch will walk you through the details.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Girlfriends, 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 girlfriends.
Hello, V. Panam and V. What's going on there?
Don't worry about it. Mind your business.
After what happened to Scorpion, she shows up here? Guess probably for Saul.
Mind your business.
Ignore that.
Okay.
Hey, Panam.
I'm just gonna look at your butt.
Seriously? You really aim to do this?
Someone has to.
You know you have a piston mission, right?
Someone has to.
Yeah, you tell him. I love me a lady that can stand up for herself. And me, because I cannot stand up for myself.
Where's Mitch? He was supposed to meet me here.
He'll be here any minute.
Okay.
Huh. You never mentioned seeking outside help.
We can use all the help we can get.
Hi. I'm V. I'm a friend. A very close friend. Oh, lean against the car. Sorry. Missed my cue.
Okay.
Sorry.
How do you want to do
Missed
this?
my social cue.
Quietly. An open assault would be suicide.
Aww.
Mitch is already setting up the recon. You'll sneak into the Wraiths camp while I cover you.
Perfect for just the two of us.
Going in quiet. Two's all you need.
Yeah, and then we can kiss on the
I
mouth.
don't want to go to serve some raffins up some justice.
I'm sorry,
It's
what?
Just...
Look around. The last attacks left barely half of us standing. Our supplies are stuck outside goddamn Reno.
Not Reno!
Don't get me started.
We're up shit creek, static. And I don't know if we're ever gonna find or fashion a paddle.
Will she be mad if I
we
say
might.
that?
So Peter gets nabbed and you what?
Yeah.
Hope for the
She's
best.
got the right idea.
Rather not think about what you do for the ones at the bottom of your food chain.
You're asking for trouble.
Leave it! She has a right not to understand.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's happening. Huh? You ever thought about that, motherfucker?
There's Mitch.
Hi, Mitch. I know you. I know you.
I floated a drone over the Wraith's camp.
What's that?
Will you take a look, or would you rather keep mouthing off?
Oh, that was a bad choice, wasn't it? How are you?
Mitch, how you been?
Wishing duct tape could right all the world's wrongs.
Sorry.
And hey, it shouldn't be me occupying your thoughts, but Saul.
Sorry.
You taking a look or not?
Fine.
Let's see what we got
just
here.
trying to be
The
polite.
Raffins
I
can't
don't
see
know
it.
how to
Active
socialize.
camo,
That's why I'm
but
a
that
fucking
practically inhales
VTuber.
battery juice, so make it quick.
Okay.
They found an abandoned cement plant to squat in, with a massive.
There's something really funny to me about Takamura being like,
Locusts
where
would be a
is
better
she?
name for them.
Where is
They
V? And
fly
I'm just
into a
like,
place,
hee
strip it of all it's
hee
got, and move
girlfriend
on.
time, girlfriend time.
Do you see the wall? They've added some primitive security measures.
Bombing
It points to
something
them
with
aiming to stay
girlfriend. Well, we're not gonna bomb it.
The question is why?
Sneaking and
Who knows
breaking and
for sure,
entering with
but I would
girlfriend
guess that Saul
time.
is part of the reason. If he's still there, we have to find a way inside. That guard post is probably connected to the rest of the camp.
Our way in?
Maybe, but there are also breaches in the wall, lightly guarded sections.
What's that green thing? Let me look at the green thing. Yeah, because that's a guy. I'm trying to look at the green thing. Oh well. Forklift? You know, Panam, I'm forklift certified. It's a pretty big deal, huh? Fuel tank! Yay, I like explosions. Well, let me scan that little green thing yet. I guess I'm not allowed. Okay. Who are you? Reaper smiles upon you. Reaper Overwatch. Interesting.
Do you see the tracks?
Yeah.
Tire tracks. Their vehicles were moving heavy freight. It could have been equipment. Either that or Saul's not their only prisoner. The tracks lead to the truck. Can you scan it?
That's not a truck. Okay, hold on. That's also not a truck. I know what a truck is. Hold on. Oh, that's the truck. There it is. Hi, DJ.
That's
Welcome
probably the
in. Was the
one that
karaoke
Saul met.
good? I did my best. I was like, once I got unnervous, I think it went
The
pretty
main
well.
building.
But I have
There.
like,
Saul
even though
must be
I
inside.
like have a music
Ready to
degree,
spread.
teach music,
like looking
I
for a
have
diamond
awful
in a hailstorm?
performance
They
anxiety.
haven't scrapped and gutted the place.
Because
for
this was
parts.
my
You
first
could
time
access
doing
the
something
local
like that.
candidate.
But
You would just need to
I
find
think it
control.
went good. It was fun. I hit a C. No, I think I hit an E6. So you know what? We'll call that a win. We'll call that a win. Because I didn't think I'd hit the E6, but I did. And for not music people, that's very high. Let's see. Oh, let me try. No! I'm not done scanning. No, go back. Take me back. Ah, fuck. Welcome in. This stream's... Dave, this stream's kind of a hot mess. Thank you, gamer. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it with how anxious I was, because when you, like, literally if you're anxious while you're singing, your
skywalk.
muscles tense
It
up and
connects
it's
the
way
garage to the
harder
main structure.
to do stuff. You know what I mean? It's way harder to have the flexibility
Okay,
you need
got some stuff
to,
to
like,
work
do
with
a lot of
now.
the advanced techniques. But then I have anxiety, so that's rough. Netrunner is Sandy user. Bestie, this is my first playthrough. I still don't entirely... I know, not Netrunner,
go get
but I don't know what
Perfect.
Sandy means.
Mitch, is the van primed?
I didn't know what the
I
fuck
did
was
what I
going on.
could.
I still don't
Take
know
your
what the
tool.
fuck's going on. I just want to kiss this woman on the lips. That's all I want to do. Yeah, I like my big hammer. I'm not... This is my first time playing, like, an FPS game in a really long time. I mostly play, like, fantasy RPGs. So, I'm not really good at the whole
mostly
shooting thing,
improvised,
but I do like
Either
slapping
way, it'll
people
have
with a
to do.
hammer. So that's fun. You know. Alright, so what's popping,
Hold on a
besties?
minute, I got one more thing.
What's up?
If you find Saul hasn't flatlined, you'll probably need this.
Did you slow-mo? Oh.
Spike Superjet. A
That could be
rhino
fun.
dose. It should speed up Saul's central pump.
Okay. Sure hope so.
Hope so. Doubt I could carry him on my back.
Saul
So
Goodman.
that should be everything.
Yep.
V, will you ride with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I'm going with you.
Okay. You
She's
take the
my
wheel.
girlfriend.
Want
She
me
just doesn't
driving?
know it yet.
Yep. I
We
need to
do
fiddle
have
with
the
my scope
mod
a bit.
installed that lets me romance her. So I will be able to kiss her on the lips. Wait, am I driving? Oh shit. I'm driving? Oh no. This is... Well, I hope your standards are low, Panam, and you don't value your life. That's the wrong way, god damn it. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Especially throwing knives. Ooh, that sounds cool. Yeah, this is my first playthrough, and I don't really know what's going on most of the time. But I like the game a lot, so I do want to try like other builds and stuff. Whoopsie. Once I like just to help get a better hang of the game, because I could easily see this going like Skyrim, you know, where I have multiple different characters, multiple different playthroughs and stuff like that. Oh, watch out! Hold on to your seatbelt. Is your seatbelt on? The drift on this thing's crazy. All right, let's go. There we go. Straight road, just how I like it. All right. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Now we should be okay. Hopefully she won't judge me too much for my drive. I mean, no one's perfect. Everyone has flaws, you know.
Anyone else?
I shoot cops and I don't know how to drive, you know? I'm not perfect. I'm a human.
Moving civilians across the border during a bombardment? Hijacking a petrochem tanker?
Can this thing break 100?
Opening the valves, cranking a few figure eights to set the desert ablaze and give the kids a
Thanks for the clip.
That's the song.
Excuse me.
All had our
Okay, maybe this thing shouldn't break 100. Oh, whoopsie.
It's just
got a little too silly there. Sorry. I was just being a silly little guy. Just being a goofy little man. Sorry. Okay, there we go. I just don't like taking my finger off the button. I kind of just like seeing what happens. Ooh, cheeseburger. Okay, hold on. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're almost there. We're almost there. She hasn't vomited all over me, so I must be doing a pretty good job.
Do you see that?
What?
That is one hell of a storm.
Holy shit.
Looking bad.
Oh, it's bad in more than its look. We have to move quickly.
Okay. Oh, that storm. Oh, fuck. Okay. I thought she talked about the graphics.
Park beside that out truck.
Okay. You got it. Whoops. Sorry. 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 Takes a little practice when it comes to... Yeah, this one's got me fucked up. This one's... I'm not good at driving in this game in general. Oh, okay. What's happening? Huh? Oh, fast travel. Wait. No. I have to get my fast travel thing first. I need my fast travel. Every time I ask myself how you've gotten a license. Carefully. It only took me 2 times to get my license, believe it or not. I only failed... The first time I failed getting my driver's license is because I tried to turn into oncoming traffic. But then I learned to not do that. So... worked out for everybody. Yay! Okay. 2 times is actually pretty... Yeah, I'm not a bad driver in real life. Just... Oh, right. I need to be sneaky. I forgot. Okay. Where's my gun? Maybe I should go hit it from the back. Where's my cool gun? There we go. Actually, I think I have a sniper rifle. Maybe I can snipe him. I'm assuming no survivors. There's dozens of hidden sweet rides you can own. Really? Oh, I need to look those up. Because I only have 3 vehicles right now. Where's my, the sniper? Where'd I put it? Oh, no more sniper rifle, I guess. Whoopsie. Okay, that's fine. I do like this gun.
All right, I'm in position. I have you in range.
Hi. Okay, here we go. Maybe... just... Is there a back door over there? Oop. Don't look at me. I don't like when people stare at me. I have anxiety. What's that? Yeah, I thought she was coming with me. Hi. Okay.
Damn it, V! So much for being sly. Find
I thought they would know.
out of there.
Should I try that again? Your gun is not silent.
Gaslight, geek,
yeah, I should.
Girl boss.
Tari fan lover, thank you for the follow. You're not gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Do we keep going with that, or do we like? Live with the consequences of your actions. Okay. Whoa! You cannot sneak up on me like that. God, what happened to having fucking manners? Oh, shit. Oh, you guys are like babies. Oh my god, you have like no HP. Okay. Look at that. Alright. Anyone else? Oh, shit. Sniper. Whoopsie. Okay. Aha! Obliterated. Okay. See a sniper over there. Here, let me get a little bit closer. There we go. Oh. Get out of there! Stop being a pussy! I don't have a good sneaky weapon. Well, except my hammer. I guess that could have worked. Alright. I'm trying to get everyone dead before I... Ooh, closet. Wait, what? Okay. Ooh, money! Money! I need money! Okay. Hi! I can only shoot... No! I'm out of ammo! No. Oh, fuck. Is it hammer time? Alright, well, it's gonna be shotgun time before it's hammer time, but we're about to. Your bare hands also just work? Yeah, I guess that's true. There we go. Okay. I can get the weapon later, I guess. Whoa. Whoa! Hey! Watch where you're going, pal! Watch where you're going! Alright. There we go. No! No reloading! I'm reloading. Fuck you. Yeah, you are. Okay. This way. Hi, Saul. Oh, he's not in here. Okay. Quick security fee? Let's try that. No, that's the internet. Oh, here we go. Turn it off. Wait, remote takeover? What does that mean? Oh, there he is. How do I free him? There's gotta be a way. You're not looting corpses? I thought I was. I thought they just didn't have any. I guess I just gotta go get him myself then, huh? Okay. Didn't I loot the corpses? Did I not loot them? Well, let me go back and loot them. Hold on. I totally forgot about that. Gimme. And gimme. Gimme. There we go. Okay. You guys have anything? I forgot. Gimme. Okay. Reload. Gimme. Oh. Maybe... Yeah, no, it's over here. Okay. I'm really bad with directions, but we're gonna make it work. I guess I have to go down? Yeah. Oh. Okay, they're still not over it. Like, come on. I killed all your friends. Just get over it. It's not that serious. Yeah, okay. This way? This way. Okay, there we go. Okay. What the fuck? Oh my god! Shut up! Stop it! Okay. Anyway. Oh, whoopsie. Hi. Okay. And then... Hammer time! I'm bored. I want to do the hammer. Hi. Whack! Oh, I missed. There we go. Whack! Okay, give me your stuff. There we go. And then... Is it this one? Oh no, it's probably underground. How do I get underground? Okay. The game says go this way, then go this way, and go this way. I'm just looking at the map. I'm not looking at anything else. There we go. Okay. A little stressful. Whoa! There we go. Anyway, that was awkward. Okay. Can I have your gun, please? Give me that. Guillotine. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay. Blood bruiser. Give me that. Give me all your shit. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Any money? Oh, that's a dead person. Wait, are you dead? Oh my god, that's a boob. I can't show that.
Dead. Is Impel.
The dead body's fine.
And not just for her chrome.
But
fucking rabbits. Soulless filth.
The boob's where Twitch draws the line. Disembowelment can be excused, but not a boob. No, fuck that. Okay. Anything else over here? There we go. Saw. Money. Ooh, burger. Money. Okay. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm out of ammo. Twitch says if it's. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. As long as it's not like a literal sex game, I think we're okay. Disembowelment. Disembowelment.
Right. I think I got eyes on him.
Hi.
Is he
Breathing? Think so.
Kind of.
good? Grab him and get out of there.
Saul?
Do you have my goddamn cigar?
Easy, Saul. I'm here with Panam.
I don't want to fuck this up. If I fuck this up, I'm not going to hear the end of it.
She left.
Well, we're here now.
Not forever. Gonna get you out.
You. I remember. You're that merc.
You're pretty badly beat. Probably could use this.
There you go. I'm helping.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how is he?
Time to don my dancing shoes.
Fuck
Hell
yeah.
Now get yourselves out of there.
Okay.
Hell of a shitstorm down here. Brewing to be a Category 5.
I know. Get out of the building. I'll be right there.
Oh, that's right. Sandstorm. Okay. Darude Sandstorm. Who are you? I wasn't sure what it was for a second. I was like, I'm not used to like what all the little like. Whoa! Slow your roll. Slow your fucking roll. Jesus. My God, dude, chill. Daddy, chill. Oh, fuck. Okay. No, I want the gun. Okay. There we go. All right, let's get out of here. We are dipping out. Yeah, as soon as Panam called, I was literally about to do more main quest stuff, and then Panam called, and I was like, drop everything! Lesbian time! Hi.
Panam, you're making a mistake. Another one.
Serious right now?
Those devils wanted to know our location. If we drive to camp now, you'll just be setting the table for them.
Do you look outside lately? The storm will wipe our tracks.
This music goes hard, by the way. This shit. Ooh.
And the scent of blood?
What?
We got more chomping at our tail.
Oh, God, I hate having to kill people while she's driving. I'm not good at this. Okay. Hey, what's happening up there?
We need to shake them.
This van kind of sucks for this.
One way to treat an engine.
Fuck off, Saul. I can't squeeze any more out of it.
I can. Let me drive. No, let me drive. Give me the wheel. We will get where we need to go. Okay, fine. Okay, whoa. My mouse, like, got fucked up for a second. All right, don't I just need to shoot the car and then it blows up? Or do I shoot the people inside the car?
Damn it! We got more.
Okay, yeah, they ran off. Okay, just shoot the car. Don't think too hard about it. Just shoot the car. Whoa, 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 whoa! Slow your roll. Back up, back up.
We need to find shelter.
I know, damn it. There's an abandoned farm nearby. I'll get us there.
Fuck! My head! You up to kill me?
What'd I do? I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Can I use a different weapon for this? Yeah, I can! Okay. Can I make the cars blow up?
We got hit! Big!
What?
I can't push it much more!
Alright, damn it. That's it.
Aha! I can make the cars blow up. I like that. Explode!
Here! Woo! We got him!
Yay!
How'd away go? Couldn't have done it better myself.
Ah!
Thanks.
That was fun. I love arson with hot women. And this guy, I guess. Saul Goodman.
You see those buildings?
We'll wait it out there.
I remember this place. It should be safe, at least for now.
Is all done?
Inside, quick!
Okay. Looks like hell outside. Jesus. Here, let me. Come on. I'm going.
I need to catch my breath.
Dark in here. So, you guys come here often?
Just in time for dinner.
Where'd Panam go? There she is.
Not hungry. I just swallowed a pound of sand.
I got a cheeseburger in my backpack. If you want it. Cheeseburger in my backpack.
Looks like we're in for the night. A little power might be useful.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
Could you help me
in
look,
here.
V? I'll search in here.
Yeah, it's dark. I don't like the dark. Ooh, toilet. Let's see.
A lot of useful things. Bangles left in a hurry.
Wait, outfit? Wait, no, I want to look at the new outfit I just got. What? Not outfit, but like, I just got a... Ooh! Oh, I can't see it right now. That's right. We'll change it later. I want to see it later. Hell yeah. Okay. I don't know how I change it. Don't I have to be in my apartment to see my, like, actual fit or something like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Sell us your land.
You don't know that.
Oh, whoopsie. It was right in front of my fucking face.
Hey, it worked. We have lights.
Yay! I have to poop. Okay. Hey, girl. What you doing?
Damn, it's getting cold.
Got heat?
I tried to get us some heat in here, but no luck. Can you check it? Might have the magic touch.
Maybe.
Actually, you know what? Check the fuse outside. It might have come loose.
You want me to go
If
outside
so,
right now?
just whack it back in place and I'll get this junk.
Okay. Okay. It's like Kansas out here. Jesus. This is some Wizard of Oz bullshit. Should be good. Hopefully I don't get, like, swept away or something. Alright. Ugh, spooky. Yeah, close that. Hey.
See what I see?
Okay.
Expiration dates from before the last war. So
Important dialogue warning! Oh, save.
Today's our
okay.
lucky day.
Save.
Lucky. Interesting choice of words.
I have to riz now? Oh, no. I'm not good at this. Okay. Hey.
Go on, get off your feet. It could be hours.
Okay.
No lecture. But we do need to talk. That raid's
This
crap.
doesn't seem like a Riz moment.
It shouldn't have happened. They wanted everything. Our camp locations, routes, offloading points. If they knew what state we're in, 1 or 2 more raids and that'd
Let's
be the
take
end
it
of us.
easy.
Not the time for this. You're both exhausted.
If I mess up, I can't smash? Oh, fuck. Well, good thing I
Can't hope to
saved.
handle the
Because I will retcon if I need to. I don't give a fuck. I've come this
It's a damn
far.
rotten idea.
Yeah, it's a shitty idea. I agree with Panam.
Gotta agree with Panam. Sounds like a truly shitty idea.
Thanks.
What could you possibly know about it?
I pull my corpo card.
More than you think, Saul. Used to work for Arasaka, so seen plenty.
Arasaka's not Biotechnica. The difference
Is not in the MO. That's always the same. Know what you are to them?
No.
Labor. To be exploited and ultimately consumed. Best case scenario.
Damn.
Thank you, V. I
You're
could not have
welcome.
said it better.
we've had our spats.
A few, like any family.
They're not worth digging up.
I think so too.
If you'd
I
like
want
to come
Panam to
back,
consume me.
everyone will be waiting.
Same. That's what
Arms
I'm
open
trying
wide.
to do.
but there will have to be changes. No more jumping to the front of the line.
And so it begins.
Oh boy.
You know what, sweetheart? We'll have plenty of time to tear at each
That's
other's
what I've been
throats later.
saying.
That is my hope.
But right now, I wouldn't mind catching a few winks.
Need help?
Fuck off.
Huh?
Huh. Do you know what they call these storms in North Africa?
No.
Boobs.
Boobs.
Damn, I love that word.
Boobs. Boobs. Boobs.
Whoa, what was that about?
What? Boobs. Boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To her boobs.
To her boobs.
Ugh. Now that packs octane.
Oh, oh. Why are you saying like that?
What is?
I rarely sleep with a roof overhead, yet this will be the second time with you. When you're on the road,
Can I
day,
save?
night,
No,
day,
I don't
your
want to
butt
fuck it up. I
basically
don't want to
feeding
fuck
on your
it up.
seat. You forget what it's like.
And? Think this is any better?
No, just different. Yeah, this would make for a decent little motel, wouldn't it? Little fireplace, booze. Grumpy guy at reception is the one thing missing.
Have everything you need, ma'am?
Mm-hmm. I couldn't ask for more.
Am I supposed to ask her to show me her feet?
What a day. Ma'am, I'm sure you'd be cozy.
Show me your
with shoes
feet!
off.
Get
After a
those
full
puppies
day,
out!
I fear a health code violation.
Nonsense. After a day as full as today, you deserve
Show
to
me
get
the
back.
dogs!
Oh? And what did you have in mind?
Got a few ideas. Think you know what kind.
Fuck!
V.
No! No!
It's really nice as is. Let's not spoil it, okay?
No! No! What? What, David?
Don't do it.
I'm not allowing myself to be wrong. I did it correctly? Wait, really? Huh? Are you serious? Really? I don't think I did.
That was right.
Today's our lucky
What?
day.
Oh, okay.
She does
Lucky.
reject you here. No
Interesting
matter
choice of words.
Do I hear a lecture
Okay.
coming on?
Here, let me.
No lecture. But we do need
Wait,
to talk.
what's the winning option? I want the winning option.
That
EB
rate's
always
crap.
wins.
If they knew what state we're in.
no matter what you do.
Not
But
good
I
for
want
this.
the winning
You're both
option. There's a
exhausted.
better option, apparently.
Maybe you're right.
I mean, they
We
both
can't
feel
hope
the
to-
same way.
So you would
That's fine.
tell him.
What could you
More than you think.
or a sock?
Is not in the to be exploited.
Mm.
An old
Show me your feet.
We,
Show me your feet.
Not wor-
Show
think
me
so,
your
too.
if
feet.
you'd like. But there will. You know?
Show me your feet.
But
Show me your feet.
fuck.
Show me your feet.
Damn.
Ha boobs. Boobs. Thank you for the
to her
clipboards.
boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Boobs.
To her
Boobs.
What is?
I read.
Boobs.
And?
Boobs.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
so
this would-
dejected, dude.
Have everything you need. Map.
Show the dogs.
After a.
Nonsense.
Oh?
Here at the Independent. Your wish
is our command.
Careful. You can't know what I'd wish for.
Hmm?
You know what? We better get some sleep.
Okay, I think that was the
That
winning
was a damn
option.
long day.
That was the safe one.
V, I'm glad you came.
Thanks.
Really. Thanks. It meant a lot to me.
Yeah. I won!
Do you hear that?
Hmm?
Nope.
First try.
Mm-hmm. The wind has waned.
Yay!
I can't speak for Haboobs, but when a Chinook rolls rough and rowdy across the plate, I sure can't get any shut-eye. Not a wink.
Nini. Hi, Johnny. Wait, Johnny, get out of here! This is my moment! Johnny, go away!
Staff of the Independent.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I wish you all sweet dreams.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let me be cringe on main. Let me be horny, Johnny. Let me have this. Stop being mean to him. Well, I'm always gonna be a little mean to him. He's not just a little guy. He's a war criminal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Gaber, for the dialogue warning. I do appreciate that. Just looking around. Okay. Hi. But thank you, Orange. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, did you sleep all right?
Yeah.
Good work, V. Old style raid.
You gotta agree now. Next time I choose the motel.
If there is such a time. Well, I slept like a puppy. That's a cozy shoulder you have there. It's too bad I better get rolling in a minute.
Hang on. Thought you were headed back to the Aldecaldos. Staying with the clan.
That remains so. Come on.
Where are we going? This is really pretty. Like this shower
Last
here, that's
night,
really pretty.
when we were talking to Saul. Thanks for standing up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Though, one thing. The Wraiths, the raid. It's the start of something we need to prepare for. Saul will get everything set up in camp. Whereas
you...
The Raffins wanted to know our roots, right? Well, it's the Aldecaldos' turn. Some recon is in order. One more thing. Your compensation. Please take care of her. She served me well.
Like! Oh, gun!
Putting her in good hands, Panam.
I know.
Gun!
So, thank you. Once
Pretty
again.
lady gave me a gun. Oh, wait.
Hold up. About last night.
We don't need to talk about that. I'm just not like that.
So what are you like?
More like this.
Let's go! Yeah!
Take care of yourself.
You too, Panam.
And remember, I'm indebted.
Johnny! Johnny, I kissed a girl! Johnny! Johnny!
Circumstances were different. I'd say saddle up and ride after her. But here and now, just look.
What?
Damn hard to catch a girl like that.
Well, I'll be damned if I don't
Only
try.
hope you've got is they feel a pang and stop to wait.
What is with you?
Dunno, a memory maybe. Don't matter. Okay, back to town, V. Headed up to here with this gusty outback.
So, was that like meant to be like I'm supposed to follow her, or is that just like him being a shit? Because I don't know if that was meant to be foreshadowing I'm supposed to follow her or something, but I don't think it is. He's being a shit. Okay. So, honestly, I think that is the perfect place to end it for tonight, gamers. That's just Johnny thinking Panam is hot. He's real for that, I'll be honest. But gamers, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a good time. I had a really fun time. This was a really fun stream. Let me know if you want me to do more karaoke streams, because it was really fun once I got going, and I want to get better at performing. I want to get better at performing and doing stuff live. So let me know if you like that. We're definitely going to be back with Cyberpunk. I'm not sure if we're going to do Cyberpunk on Wednesdays or Fridays. Not sure what the vibe is, but we'll see. Definitely more karaoke. Yes, big shout out to David for fixing my build. Everyone say thank you, David. One more time. Thank you, David. And we're gonna get more cybernetics next time. So that will definitely happen. So I don't know if we're gonna do this on Fridays or Wednesdays. We're gonna have to kind of wait and see what the vibes are. And yeah, so I do have a Discord if you're new in town and you want to keep up with my streams and what I do. I do have a Discord. I do also have a YouTube where all VODs are uploaded. If you want to see how we got to this point, I'll be uploading this one shortly. And I also post covers and stuff there. And I also have a TikTok and a Twitter, and I'm writing a book. Yeah. All right. Well, good night, gamers. Let's see who we can go raid. Who's live right now? Bye internet voice. Yeah, I'm just a voice. Don't worry about me. I'm just a voice. Let's go raid. We'll raid Tatsu. Let's raid Tatsu. Tatsu's playing Dave the Diver. She's very sweet. I love Tatsu. She's a good noodle. She's also one of my former Vocaloid voice students. So please give Tatsu your undying love and affection. Please treat her with the same love and kindness that you treat me, or maybe don't treat her how you treated me, because y'all were laying into me tonight. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Oh, our raid message. We can do lesbian raid. Well, no, I'm not a lesbian. Gay girls with guns raid. Let's do that. I like that. And if you are subscribed, you can use the gun emote. Yeah, let me do the thing. Gay girls with guns raid with the emote, so you can copy paste it. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, not my face. We don't want to put my face in there. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. Live your best life. Okay. Gay girls with guns raid. All right. Good night, gamers. We will go say hi to Tatsu. And I will see you guys very soon for Skyrim Sunday. Okay, bye-bye!